Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Fearless Slayer's Guide. Today we'll be taking a look at the Chainblades. As always, I am D, and we're back again in Dauntless. Now, the Chainblades, the last guide I did, you guys remember, was on the axe. The Chainblades are kind of the polar opposite of the spectrum. Instead of having all the power, some of the range, and basically no speed, the Chainblades trade in most of the power for a good boost to their speed and their range. They actually have the longest attack range of any weapon in the game, short of special attacks. Their heavy combo involves throwing out the blades. Basically think of these as anime-style Kusarigama, where instead of throwing out the weighted end, you throw out the bladed end. They also have some of the more complex combos. In fact, I'll show them to you right here. There are 4 combos. Bladed Edge, which is just 5 light hits, or 5 close-in hits, because you don't really have heavy and light attacks on the Chainblades. You have close-in attacks with your left click, where you attack without just holding the blades in your hands. You also have chain throws, which is where you throw out the blades at a long distance. And like it says, deal damage to build special meter. I didn't notice that on the axe, or the sword, I'm sorry. But like I said, Bladed Edge, 5 close-in hits. You have Chain Fling, which is a 3-hit it's a 3-click, but it's actually, I think, a 4-hit combo using the Chain Throws. Swinging Blades, which is 2 close in, 1 far, 1 close. And then Blade Spin, which is something you'll see a lot because a lot of people spam it out. It works wonders. It's 3 close-in attacks, and then if you do the right click and hold that, it kind of becomes a Thresher. I'll show you what I mean when we get into a hunt. You can also end it with another close-in attack. Your ether attacks also work different. You have a long-distance one and a close-distance one. At the long distance, like it says, you can pull yourself in towards your enemy or your target. Whereas if you're in close, you can basically use them as a springboard to jump backwards and get some distance out. Now, the close-in, the chain push, does actually do a bit of damage. You'll see that when we get in. I'll try and demonstrate that on the rogue masher I'm going to be hunting. As you might expect, the Chainblades are all about agility. They're all about the speed, and they're all about basically trying to keep your target on its toes and stay out of its reach and cause as much damage as you can. Alright, we're going to go ahead and launch in, but as I was saying, instead of trying to cause all the damage with 1 or 2 hits, you try to do it with about 20. I will also be covering, eventually, once I get to the behemoth guides. The first one I do over the Nasher. I'm going to be covering other things like your utility slots or your item slots, because I haven't covered those yet. Ooh, we got a nighttime mission. Also, I'm trying out a different recording style. I usually use XSplit for this. Instead, I'm trying to do this through Shadowplay, so hopefully this works. Alright, we are in. Now, you'll notice right off the bat, if you look at the ether meter, you have a big bar, which fills up as you do damage, and then you have 4 smaller ones. The 4 smaller ones are your charges for doing your pull-in and your push-out. Let's go ahead and check out the combos. First off, Bladed Edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you'll notice a lot of those are actually multi-hit. So, for example, 4, or actually that should be about 6 hits total. 2 on the end, 4 on the others. Alright, let's check out Chain Fling. And again, that's 4 hits, because your right click has a 2-hit combo at the end. Alright, next up, we're going to take a look at Swinging Blades. That's 1, 2, the spin, and then the slash at the end. Again, the chain throw tends to be, on these combos, multi-hit. But I told you guys Blade Spin was the big one, so let's take a look at it. 1, 2, 3. And then you can just hold this, and it will chew up most of your stamina. And there's the end of it. If you want to, I just didn't hold that as long. All right, for the dodging attacks. Also, you'll notice you have a different dodge. You don't roll, you dash. Yeah, you have a small uppercut. That's on the close-in hit on the left click. Whereas if you do a dash on the right click, you get some really good distance by throwing out the blade. So like I was saying, the Chainblades are all about agility. They're all about managing distance and keeping your opponent guessing. I know that they're AI, but that's actually something that Phoenix Labs, the team behind this game, have talked about doing. Especially they were mostly talking about this in relation to the Shrike, which I will I'll be more than happy to cover once I get to those guides. But they're trying to make it so that they react more like real animals would, rather than following a rote pattern. Anyway, folks, I'll see you guys in just a minute once I've found myself the Rogue Gnasher, and we'll demonstrate these bad boys in combat. Stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, because once again, I found the Rogue Gnasher. These things are actually pretty easy to find when you get down to it. I mean, it's a giant beast. The hardest one to find, I'll talk about once we get to the guide, is one of the Tier 2 beasties. The behemoth known as a Skarn. But let's go ahead and show off what these two things can do, shall we? So actually there's there's more than there's more hits than I thought there were. But yeah. Real quick, let's show you the cues. That's the pull in. That's the jump back. I actually missed. I did when I was talking about the dash out. There's actually an interesting. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's intentionally that way. But it seems that if you use the dash in, so if you use the Q to pull yourself in, then you will not do damage when you try to do the dash out. Although actually they might have just removed the damage on the dash out to begin with, because I just didn't do it there. Now, the problem with the spinning blade combo is you don't really want to use it if you're solo. Also, I don't know if my mouse is sticking, but I did not intend to go that long. Oh, no, there's the damage. You just have to basically be in direct contact with the behemoth. Now these are fully upgraded, level 3 but these are the basic Chainblades. I have a couple of other sets. I have a couple of sets of Chainblades that I use. Huh, that's good to know. The dodge for the Chainblades, because you're not rolling, I don't think it actually gives you quite as many iframes. And you can also see what I mean by, outside of special attacks, the Chainblades have the longest attack range, because there is literally no other weapon in this game that will hit that far on your basic attacks. Yeah, because normally that was actually an intentional test. But if you use a weapon that allows you to roll, you can actually roll under the Gnasher's tail swipe when it does that. Also, if you ever see an enemy like get exhausted like that, use the advantage. That's what I did. Just demonstrating that you can actually use the dash attacks in combat. I'm surprised that hit me. But yeah, a lot of times you'll see people use the spinning blades like I just did. It's one of the more universally seen attacks in this game because a lot of people favor the Chainblades. They're a very good weapon because of their fast-hitting nature and their great range, as well as their initiation potential. But my favorite weapon will be the one I cover last. I have a friend that swears by the Chainblades, and I can understand why. They're good, like I said. But yeah, like I was saying, if you dash in with the Q and then dash back out with it, you will probably not do any damage. And there we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, has been a quick little look at how the Chainblades work. They're the weapon of choice for those who want to be mobile and hostile at all times. They are, to use the old wrestling quote, they are mobile, agile, hostile. Because you really do need to be pretty quick on your aggression with the Chainblades. But if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like or favorite. You can also leave a comment down below if you have anything you'd like to say. And if you want to keep up with me and never miss any of my current series, please feel free to click the subscribe button down below or the icon at the end of the video. That does actually really help me out. And I do read all comments, folks. I do. And I will respond if needed. As for that, folks, I have been D. This has been the Fearless Slayer's Chainblade Guide. Join me next week. Or not next week, but join me next time for another guide here in Dauntless. But for now, good night, and good gaming.